Hey everyone, Shane Toporowski here with ProSharp. Just waiting for see if we get any viewers logging on here. But we're in the town of Shrewsbury, about 20 minutes down the road from my office, at a local customer's garage. Dave Samara. Hey Dave, he's cleaned up his garage like most of us do, with the running around with our kids, always busy, especially those hockey parents and sports parents. So there's Dave and his ProSharp set up in his garage, and he's got his cup just to make sure he's protected at all times.
You never know what you find in here.
So Dave, how long ago you buy the machine?
I want to say just about three years, New Year's, so three years and a few months ago.
Right. And why did you make that purchase?
I remember the day vividly why I bought it. So kids were skating in the backyard rink. We had a little, kids were smaller, so we had like a father-son game or parent-son game that day. So I had my three kids. Two of them at the time were 5 and maybe 8. One was 8. His buddy was 9. In my skates, we had to go to pure hockey on the shameless plug on the way to the rink. They went skate shopping because when little kids are young, maybe they don't kill their edges, but they sure as heck step on rocks. So we were in there for almost. It's not a knock on the shop, it's just the way the business works. We're in there for almost 2 hours. Kids were miserable, laying down, waiting in line, busy day to get skate sharpened, then to get 5 pairs sharpened. And I think when I was in there, I made the call. I was like, I am getting a skate sharpener for the house. Money-wise, definitely will break even at some point, but convenience-wise and always being able to have the kids' skates ready to go, not running around from rink to rink, trying to find a location, and always being prepared was a big thing, and it's come more and more in hand every day since. We use it a lot.
So we do have a lot of competition on the market. Not a lot. There's a couple companies out there that compete with us. Why did you choose ProSharp over other companies?
So I chose ProSharp over other companies because when I looked, there was another good competitor out there that seemed accessible and local also. But I have 3 kids and myself that need their skates to have a little bit of an edge on them, and multiple friends who have now used this garage as the sharpening center. So I should probably leave a tip jar or something. So it gets used so much that the final thing was really like, one of the other competitors I was going back and forth with, the stone was saying maybe 40 sharpening. So if you think about it, once a week is at least 5 to 7 here. So every 3 weeks I would have been 3 to 4 weeks I've been replacing the stone with the amount of people that come through here. I've had this stone since the get-go. We use it for, my little ones, my skates, some guys I play with skates, some friends whose kids play high school hockey. They come over and they play. Neighborhood people who skate on the ponds, they just come home and the sharpener's going far more often than I expected when I bought it, that's for sure. So I didn't want to be replacing a stone consistently.
So if you could just take us through the steps of your sharpening process with the ProSharp Home and how quickly you can get the process done and get the kids' skates up into good standing before they go to their ice hockey events.
The steps, once I get to the ProSharp, are easy. Getting the skates from my kids is where the fun and excitement is. But once I'm out here with them, take the skate, it couldn't be much more simple. Put skate in, turn this piece here a couple times. Make sure it's on, which I never know. Then I stand here, I walk around. That is the time of week, the day, what I'm doing. Pick up the garage, hide from my wife. Sneak a beer in if it's a Friday night.
Well, that's a good point. Is it better with beer or bourbon?
Bourbon. Better with bourbon. Maybe in the summer when it warms up, the beers will make a comeback. But right now it's definitely great with bourbon. That's it.
What rate is hollow are the kids on?
5/8.
5/8.
Having the access to having a skate shop, and I think 5/8 is great for almost anyone, right? Like, run it through once a week, one time, and you're off and running if you want.
And you said you had this machine for about 3 years now. How many wheels have you purchased?
This is literally the first wheel that I had with the machine, and it's still going strong. I have another one, but I haven't switched it, because this one still works fine. I've had no issues.
That's good. Just to reiterate, guys, the reason he hasn't had to change the wheel out is because he's been sharpening for 3 years. Seems like multiple users, and he said his family is 3 skaters plus himself, and those wheels will sharpen 500 pairs of skates before they're worn out. So after 3 years, he's still on the original wheel, which is good to hear for our potential customers out there who are on the bubble of purchasing the machine.
My 11-year-old does his own skates now. I don't even have to bother with him. If you want to sharp skates, go sharpen your skates. I don't know if ProSharp wants to know that stuff or whatever, but...
That's with parental supervision, correct, Dave?
Yeah, get out of the house, go sharpen your skates if you want to sharpen that stuff. But it's great, so... We've actually obviously brought it to some tournaments and stuff. I'll wait for this to go through.
It sounds like it's pretty convenient to take to the tournaments then, too.
And so there was a pretty cool, once this is done, I'll tell you. There's a pretty cool clinic that my kids went to a couple times where it was on synthetic ice. And the time slots are always tough in hockey, so most of the time we'd be jetting from there to a game. And I was fortunate enough to have a truck that you can plug this in. We would literally in the truck going from location A where there's synthetic ice to their game. Their skates would be sharpening in the truck on the way there. So that would made a big. So actually, when I was going to go to that clinic, made it a lot easier to make that decision. If it wasn't for the ProSharp, I wouldn't have been able to go because I would not have stopped or had the time or patience to go sharpen their skates somewhere. Like most pros, you see me with the stone here. You don't get much better than this. I learned this from my Swedish friend Shane Paparowski. Actually, Hans from Mighty Duck showed me that.
The honing process is so important, customers. So you got to take those burrs off after the sharpening process to ensure that you take them off. If you don't take those burrs off, they're going to slow your skating process down. So nice clean edge after that.
And at my age, any kind of assistance not to slow me down is helpful.
Does this help your men's league game?
I mean, I don't want to talk about being the most filthy goal scorer out there, but my men's league game has gone like next level. I don't just score off my butt anymore. I've been using my stick more, like the old days. It's adventure. Of course, not as you ask.
Good stuff. Well, I just want to thank Dave for allowing us to interrupt his workday here and come into his garage and show us a little bit of the ProSharp Home and how easy it is to use. Get his family skates in good standings, and his neighbors apparently, and friends and neighborhoods and whoever else comes and drops by for a great sharpening. Again, if there's any questions, feel free to send them out in the chat. I'm scrolling through as I'm talking right now, but not seeing any questions pop up. So at this juncture, if you have any questions about the purchase of the machine, you can reach out to myself, Shane at ProSharp.com, or go right on our website at ProSharp.us in the US, or ProSharp.ca in Canada, and purchase right online. And we have inventory in stock ready to ship out. Hope all is well, and have a good March.